For example, as detailed in the criminal referral, you signed one document attesting that a property in Michigan would be your primary residence for the next year. 2 weeks later, you signed another document for a property in Georgia stating that it would be your primary residence for the next year. It is inconceivable that you were not aware of your first commitment when making the second. It is impossible that you intended to honor both. And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today, we're not talking about your girl. We're not talking about your girl today, but we are talking about somebody who's very high up. Well, at least who was very high up in the government up until, well, today. See, you're looking at Lisa Cook. She is one of the very few select people in the whole world who have a hand in deciding United States monetary policy. She is on the board of governors of the Federal Reserve. If you've done any kind of YouTube rabbit holes, I'm sure you've come across a Federal Reserve rabbit hole. And so she would be one of those people you would find down in that rabbit hole. But she was just fired by Donald Trump because his administration said that she had committed mortgage fraud by claiming two different homes on mortgage documents as her principal residence. So in that way, she's kind of like Adam Schiff, and she's kind of like your girl, Letitia James. But, you know, every case is individual and different. So once Donald Trump and his administration found out about this, Trump said, look, you can resign or I'm going to have to fire you. And she did not resign. So today the letter hit that she is fired. We're going to read that letter here shortly. But first, I want to anticipate something, y'all. Donald Trump has been on the warpath against the Federal Reserve. And you already know what his critics are going to say. When you just looking at Ms. Cook, you already know what they're going to say is the reason she was fired. I just want to provide y'all with some context. Donald Trump would have loved to have fired the head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. He just couldn't. He couldn't. Like, constitutionally, he's black. He could only fire Powell for cause, and he couldn't find a cause to fire him. But he wanted to, and he was looking. And, well, let's take a look at what Trump said about Jerome Powell, just to provide some context before we get too deep into how he fired Ms. Lisa Cook. Let's take a look. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
We have a bad Fed chairman, really bad. If he would lower the rates, and I tried being nice to the guy, it doesn't help. He's like a knucklehead. No, he's a knucklehead. A stupid guy. He really is. You know, each point, think of this, each point costs us $360 billion. Billion. 1 point, 360 billion. 2 points, you got 600, 700 billion dollars. And we're way high. We're at 450 or 425, 450. And how do you go borrow money at 1% when the Fed has you at 450? And, you know, it's not that easy. I get angry at them. Why are we paying so much? You know, because he's got you up at this number. And we should be at 1%.
So there you can see there's no love lost with Jerome Powell and Donald Trump. Trump humiliated this guy. He called him stupid. He called him low IQ. He even went to the Federal Reserve and humiliated Jerome Powell in front of the world. So this is not about some of the identifiable characteristics that people would want you to think this is about. This is really about Donald Trump looking to have his way with the Federal Reserve. I think that's the reason they were looking into Lisa Cook and probably all of the Federal Reserve governors is because he's trying to get these rates lower. He needs the rates to be lower in order for him to be able to execute his financial plan and his financial vision for the country. And so the Federal Reserve has not been playing ball. So Donald Trump, as he always does, he's been going hard against them. So let's take a look at a little bit more detail as to the allegations about Ms. Cook. And then after that, we'll come back and I will read you this letter where she is unceremoniously fired from one of the most prestigious job positions, I would say, in the entire world. Let's take a look.
So President Trump's attacks on the Fed escalating today with new calls for a Fed governor to step down. At the center of that demand, accusations that the woman you see here, Fed Governor Lisa Cook, committed mortgage fraud. Cook saying in a statement tonight that she learned about the allegations from the media and that she has no intention of being bullied into stepping down from her position. The president writing on Truth Social, quote, Cook must resign now. The Fed and DOJ declining our request for comment on the accusations. It is just the latest move from the administration in its campaign to basically remake the Fed as they try to get the central bank to lower interest rates. Cook was appointed by the Fed board by then President Biden in 2022. And just last month, Cook voted with a majority of her colleagues to keep interest rates steady. Christine Romans is joining us now. So I think this kind of fits into this broader pattern, right, Christine, that we've seen from the president and his allies to target political rivals. And the turnover is happening a lot faster than we have seen in previous administrations. But with that, is there any validity to the accusations the president is making here when it comes to mortgage fraud?
Well, his housing chief, Bill Pulte, went on CNBC this morning and said that he told the anchors of CNBC that he had shown them her mortgage documents. He'd faxed or given them her mortgage documents, the same ones that he had sent on to Attorney General Pam Bondi for a criminal referral, he said, saying that she had misled on those documents about where her primary residence was so that she could get a more favorable mortgage rate. And he said, under no circumstances should someone be helping determine mortgage rates who has not been 100% fair about their own mortgage documents. Here's a little bit of what he said.
It says, Dear Governor Cook, pursuant to my authority under Article 2 of the Constitution of the United States and the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 as amended, you are hereby removed from your position on the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve effective immediately. The Federal Reserve Act provides that you may be removed at my discretion for cause. As set forth in the criminal referral dated August 15, 2025, from Mr. William J. Pulte, Director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, to Ms. Pamela Bondi, Attorney General of the United States, there is sufficient reason to believe you may have made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements. For example, as detailed in the criminal referral, you signed one document attesting that a property in Michigan would be your primary residence for the next year. 2 weeks later, you signed another document for a property in Georgia stating that it would be your primary residence for the next year. It is inconceivable that you were not aware of your first commitment when making the second. It is impossible that you intended to honor both. The Federal Reserve has tremendous responsibility for setting interest rates and regulating reserve and member banks. The American people must be able to have full confidence in the honesty of members entrusted with setting policy and overseeing the Federal Reserve. In light of your deceitful and potentially criminal conduct in a financial matter, they cannot, and I do not, have such confidence in your integrity. At a minimum, the conduct at issue exhibits the sort of gross negligence in financial transactions that calls into question your competence and trustworthiness as a financial regulator. So there he mentions William Pulte. Pulte is the person who referred Letitia James as well to the DOJ for potential criminal prosecution. Let's see what Pulte has to say about this situation.
I'll tell you this. Jay Powell, he has a chance to do the right thing by the law. I mean, this is just, this is common sense what he needs to do here.
So he's saying that he has referred this and that she should not have that job. That would then open up a new position for the president to appoint maybe somebody who sees more to eye with him on rates. And I should say, we do not have any proof that there was any wrongdoing here. Right. But you're right that this administration has gone after people on this particular subject before. And of course, critics of the president's stance on this would say, well, he has been convicted of fudging numbers related to real estate himself, so that there's a sort of a rich irony there.
So there you have it, y'all. Donald Trump has fired. This is the first time ever that a governor of the Federal Reserve has been fired. So this is truly a historic moment. Again, Donald Trump would probably like to fire almost all of them if he could, but it just so happens he found cause for this lady. Let me know this. How does this make y'all feel? Do you think Donald Trump is protecting the country with this? Do you feel like maybe he's overstepping his bounds, even though there is cause, according to his administration, to fire her? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. But before you do, y'all, please stop, hit the share button, share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Y'all, if you have a retirement, look at this is financial news. This affects you. You better back your retirement up and protect it. Y'all, gold. I've been telling y'all on every video for months and months now, hundreds of videos. Look into gold. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Speak to my people at Augusta Precious Metals about protecting your money. Don't you want it to still be there when you go to collect at retirement? Give them a call at 844-651-8334. Trust me, you will be happy that you did. Want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.